Alright, this video is long overdue, but I figured I decided I'd finally make the video. Just got Love out today for the year. Well, actually, he's probably going to go back in. He's not even licensed. But I've been really deciding I should really make a more in-depth video on how I converted it from full manual doors to the full power doors. So it's actually really easy to do. It's pretty easy. There's a few things you're going to need, right? You're obviously going to need everything from the doors. You're gonna need door panels, door switches, the wiring harness for the door, the regulator, the door latches, both sides. That's the obvious stuff. You pretty much got the door besides the glass, and then swap that onto your current doors. Pretty easy process. There are videos on how to disassemble, that's English, disassemble these doors and reassemble them. It's actually very easy. I can do it in like 10 minutes, and I've only done it twice, so it's really not hard. But once you get all the door stuff there's three-ish other things you're going to need. You're going to need the driver's side fuse block that is located in this area, but on the driver's side. You're going to need that. You're going to need a body control module out of a full power doors vehicle, and you will need some wiring harvested from the vehicle. Basically, when I'm talking about the wiring, as you can see how I added these are the power wires for the door, to get actual power to the door. Right, pretty simple. But I don't have those pins, so steel, cut wires, whatever you need to do out of your donor vehicle, so you have those pins so you can run your wires. It's pretty easy to depin. You pull that blue tab out, and then there's like a little thing you got to pull out with a screwdriver. Once you get it unplugged, let me show you what I'm doing. Get this unplugged, see if I can do it on camera. Oh yeah, unplug is easy enough. You get that unplugged. See if I can move this. I should have already had this unplugged. My bad. But you can see a little tab on the bottom of those pins. You can't really see it that well, sorry. But you just pop that out. You get a very small flat blade screwdriver, and you can kind of wiggle that out, and then the wire will just pull right out of the connector. That's how you depin them. Super easy. You need 2 wires from the driver's side and 2 wires, or no, sorry, you need 1 wire for the driver's side and 2 wires from the passenger side. Your 2 wires for the passenger side are constant power. You do not need switched power. These 2 orange wires have 12 volts at all times. I know that's one thing some people got messed up. Hell, I even got messed up. As you can see, I ran 2 wires because I thought it was constant and switched as well. It is not. It is just constant. That just slides back in there. And there is a 3rd wire that you do have to worry about on the... There is also let me slow down. There is another wire that's already on the work trucks. That's real nice. I simply call it the data wire. I can't remember on the passenger side if it's the light brown or the blue. Doesn't matter. It's already there on the work truck trim levels and everything. You just have to add the 2 constant 12 volts. You can pin them in, tie them together right real close to this, run it over to wherever you want constant power from. Done. Passenger side, done. That's it. The passenger side works. Show you over the driver's side. I should have pulled the dash apart, but I'll be honest with you, I was feeling kind of lazy, didn't want to do that, so I'm doing it the best I can without ripping my pickup apart. Passenger driver side, we're on the driver's side now, come on. Driver's side, here's that fuse block I was talking about. This whole fuse block pulls out of here. You pull your bezel, pull your dash piece. There's a 7mm bolt. I'll show you on this old one here. This is a work truck style one. There's a 7mm bolt that goes to the back side of it. You undo that. And it is kind of a pain, but you can get it to pull out of there and you're done. You put that aside, take the one from your full power vehicle, and then you can install that. And when you install the full power one, you don't have to run power to the driver door. It's already there. Your Your work truck one is simply missing the pin. When you put the full power fuse block out of a higher trim vehicle, it adds that pin, and it already has constant power on both pins. Done. So the only wire you have to run on the driver's side is what I'm calling the data wire, which is, it's in this harness. I see if you see it. Let's see. You can't really see it, but it's a light brown wire. Don't worry about that. That's, oh, I guess that came unhooked. I believe that. Yeah, this thing's all messed up. Out of the box, it wasn't cast very well. Kind of, boop. Yeah, okay. That's my power for the doors. It's not an elegant solution. That's the power for my seat. Again, not elegant. I need to go back and redo that. But anyway, there's a brown wire. That is your data wire. You're going to run that to your body control module. Hence why I have a body control module out, so I can show you without ripping my dash apart. You're going to run that to this brown connection, the B12 light blue wire. You splice that brown wire in, and you have that. Now, you're probably thinking, but in order to get the brown signal, there's no brown wire on the back of this fuse block on a work truck. You have to add that. So, that's why I found the pinout to let you know that pin J equals E5 on the back of this plug. Pin J is where the brown wire would go. This is the work truck block, that's why there's no pin there, but J would be where the data wire goes, and then it corresponds to, was it E5, one of those two? I can't see it, this top one here, I believe, E5. So you're going to want to pin that into the back of the actual connector you unbolted from this. A D-pin's just like the passenger side. It's a little more tedious because you're working in this little tight area, but it's not bad. Here's the dash. Look at my beautiful dash. Pretty easy. It just D-pins just like that. Pin it in. You can run continuity before you hook everything back up. Make sure you got it right. Then you just run that to the B12 light blue on your body control module. That's all the wiring. You only have to run 2 wires, and then you have full power windows, locks, mirrors. I don't have power mirrors on it right now. Even if you steal the key fob from the donor vehicle, you'll have remote locks. So that's nice. And then the only other thing you may need is, when you do all this, is you also may need the airbag module underneath the driver's seat, because the body control modules are paired to the airbag module under the seat. Without swapping that, you have an airbag module. Why? How do I know that? Because I've swapped 4 of these into this friggin' pickup, and I have battery or airbag lights on every single one except the original body control module. As you can see, I bought this one on eBay off an 06 Chevy extended cab, and it still had airbag module. I bought another one off Facebook Marketplace from a guy off an 07 extended cab, airbag light. So get the airbag module bolted to the floor underneath the seat, and that should solve that problem. Like I said, and then, oh yeah, I forgot. Then when you get all that done, your vehicle's not going to start. It's going to have a security light because you swapped body control modules. There's a 30-minute relearn process. Your security light will be on. I don't know if I can actually get it to light. Yeah, that little lock right there, that's your security light. That will be on solid. And you just turn the key on, try to start it. It's going to run for about 2 seconds, die. Leave the key in the on position like you just started it, but you didn't, for like 15 or until the light goes away. You do that like 3 times, and then she'll fire up. There's videos on how to do that better too. I probably didn't explain it real well. And then there's also a 10-minute process that's very similar, but when the light is, or no, yeah, okay. sorry, the light won't be solid, it'll be blinking. When it goes away, try to crank it. Yes, that's how it is. Then there's the 10-minute process, like when, let's say this is the original body control module, and I put it back in. The pickup knows the body control module, but it knows it's not the one that was just in it, so it's still not going to start. So there's a 10-minute mode you do where the light is just solid. And you just leave the key on until the light goes away, turn it off, turn it back on, and she'll fire up, no problem. I believe I'm remembering correctly. I did all this stuff like a year ago. There's good videos on how to do the security relearn. There's even a couple videos on how to do the wiring similarly, but I haven't seen anyone actually swap the fuse block and get it to work that way. I'm pretty sure I'm the first one to do that, or first one to document anyway, so I could say that. That's why I'm going to call this the 2-wire method, because you really only need 2 wires to get this work. I don't know why I'm filming that way. That is better. Sorry, guys. But yeah, it's pretty easy. And then if I can get the dang mod, there we go. And then yeah, you'll have full power windows, locks, everything. These were all out of that 04 Silverado I had. Everything works exactly the way it did, and but as you can see, I do have an airbag light. I chased that, and maybe I can take it to the dealership and have them flash the airbag module to the body control module, but I fear they're gonna flash the body control module to the pickup's VIN to fix it, and then I won't have power locks or anything. Oh, and if you have a factory radio and you swap body control modules, your factory radio will be locked because it doesn't share the same code anymore. So either if you want to keep a factory radio, you're going to have to take the radio, maybe it had a factory radio in it, take the one out of the donor vehicle and put it in yours. I have the factory radio out of the donor vehicle. Or you may be able to take it to a dealer and have them flash the radio to the BCM. Again, but they also might flash the BCM to the vehicle's VIN. We're fixing the radio, sure, but fucking everything else up. So that's why I haven't taken it to dealer. I'd have to really explain it to them what to do. But yeah, that is essentially the rundown. It's actually a very easy process. I know it's probably not the best video. I really should have the dash apart so I could really show you. But it's really not hard to understand. It's just the 2 wires I showed you on that. You can see them. It's very easy stuff. Like, I did it a year ago in the middle of rainstorms, like in between rain. It took me 2 days to do because I was doing it in the middle of rainstorms. I did all the wiring first, and then I swapped all the door stuff, and everything's worked. Very easy. But yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.